Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Trucking Tower podcast. In this segment of Heroes in Trucking, I'm very excited to be joined today by Jessica Martin, who is the owner and founder of Martin Consulting Group. How are you doing today, Jessica?
Doing well, Andy. Thanks for having me.
I was really excited to have you on with me. You know, you and I share two big things in common. So we met through LinkedIn, and then we were able to talk by phone. And, you know, we both have an industrial engineering degree, but also we both love being involved with Compassion International. And when we were talking, I learned an amazing story about you and some time spent in Nicaragua. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. So the summer after I graduated from high school, I had the opportunity to spend 5 weeks in Nicaragua. My aunt and uncle were there relieving a missionary family from their church for the summer, and I had the opportunity to stay with them. And what we did is every week we would go into different orphanages and have different church groups come and work in those orphanages and spend time with the kids. So the main goal of the week was to obviously talk with the kids, witness to them, get to know them a little more, give them some one-on-one attention, because in orphanages, that's really something they don't get. So it was a great opportunity to get to know the kids and also help with some projects at the orphanages. So on a personal note, that was the first time I had been out of the country. It was the first time I had been on an airplane. I was 18 and this was all brand new. So it was very eye-opening. If anyone has been to South or Central America, we flew into Managua, Nicaragua, and it's your typical city, your typical Latin American city. And we saw some interesting things on the ride to where we were staying. And it was very eye-opening coming from the US to just the level of poverty and how people live on a daily basis. So when we were at the orphanages, there were a lot of needs. We would help paint. One orphanage we went to, they had bunk beds for the kids and they were almost falling down. So we were able to repair those. And we did arts and crafts with the kids, and that really gave us an opportunity to talk to them. Some of us spoke Spanish or a little Spanish, and then we did have some translators with us as well, so we could communicate better.
Absolutely. You know, my wife and I were lucky enough to join a Compassion International trip to Ecuador. And we got to see, you know, on the ground firsthand the impacts that they're having, and went to various centers and met many, many people, hundreds. And, you know, the level of poverty that we saw, like you mentioned, is something we can't hardly grasp, you know, here in America, most people. But, you know, you've seen it, I've seen it. And so we actually got to meet a lady, a young lady, and her mom, spend a day at a park with them that we've known for 12 years almost through correspondence back and forth through Compassion. So that was a life-changing experience. And can you tell us how you got involved with Compassion International?
Sure. I was introduced to Compassion in 2012 through a family member that sponsored a child, and I really had a pull toward it. And originally, it was funny how God works, because originally when I went on the website, I thought, I want to find someone in Latin America because I speak some Spanish, and I thought that would be really cool. Maybe I could speak to them or write to them in Spanish. And the way it worked out, I remember I was on the website, and the way they have the children filtered, there were two little boys that came up. One was in Kenya, and it was very strange. I felt like an instant connection to him. He had lost both of his parents in different ways. So I really felt like he could benefit from having a sponsor. And then the other little boy, he was in a very poverty-stricken area in Burkina Faso in West Africa. So I just felt a pull to those two little boys, and I've been sponsoring them since September of 2012. So they are 13 years old now, both of them. And it's such a blessing writing to them and getting to share life stories with them. So we've shared so much with them, different things we've gone through. When I got pregnant with my first son, I was so excited. And I remember writing to them, and both of them wrote back and were so excited and said, "Oh, I hope everybody's healthy." And both of them still ask about our two boys. We have two now. They ask about them in every letter and they pray for them. And we also ask them for prayer requests, things that they are having trouble with, either in school or sometimes it's hard for their parents to find work, or the people they're staying with. One little boy stays with his uncle, so it's hard to find work at different times. God willing, hopefully we'll be able to go meet them before they graduate out of the program. That would be amazing. So
it's amazing, really. You get to know each other like family, sharing pictures and stories and prayers. And they ask, what's it like on birthdays there? What's Christmas like, and back and forth. And so it's just like you really get to know each other. And it's really amazing to see what happens in these young adults' lives as they grow up. So, what are some of the benefits you've seen overall from being a Compassion International sponsor?
I think for the kids in Compassion centers, they get meals, which is something that they might not get if it weren't for the centers. They get medical attention. They learn Bible stories and Bible verses. Both of the boys, whenever they write me, they include a memory verse that they're working on. So it's really great to see that their physical and medical needs are being met, because I feel like you can't witness to someone spiritually if they're hungry or sick. You have to deal with those needs first, and then you can witness to them on a spiritual level. So I feel like Compassion does a great job of that. They really help the communities, the families, and I think that's obviously a huge benefit for those families and those kids.
Absolutely, it is. If you could please give us like a 1-minute elevator pitch or an overview about your company. What do you do for a living?
Sure. So I worked in logistics for 15 years in Atlanta and New York, and I started Martin Consulting Group in 2020, and we provide logistics consulting as well as website design. So on the consulting side, we work with companies that are looking for project management, SaaS development, reporting setup, KPI maintenance. There's a wide range of things you can do in logistics, and we provide a lot of services there. And then on the website design, I really like to cater to small businesses, startup businesses, or blogs. When you're starting a new business, I'm sure you know, Andy, there's so many things to do, and it's hard to focus on one thing, and having a website is pretty important, but it can be really frustrating to some people. So having that help designing the website really enables them to focus on other aspects of their business.
That's awesome. I've been involved in logistics for over 20 years and have been involved in quite a few different website launches before having my own companies. And it's so critical in the age we live with the digital marketing and digital presence. Most people go to your website and your social profiles first before they'll even talk to you by phone. So it's so important. I really do appreciate you coming on and sharing some stories with us. I love what you're doing as well. How can people best get a hold of you or get in touch with you?
Sure. So my website, it's martinconsultinggroup.co. And my email is jessica.martin@martinconsultinggroup.co. And then my phone number, I'm sure, Andy, you can put that up. Those are really the best ways to contact me. And I'm always open for new clients and looking to just help people with their needs.
Well, I love what you're doing, both on a personal level with your philanthropy and also with your business as well. And I wish you the greatest of success. And that's going to do it for this edition of Heroes in Trucking. And I hope everybody has a great rest of the week. We'll talk to you soon.